All right, this is for the beer club up at Vintage Cellars. We've been doing this now for about 8 months, I think, and I've learned more about beer in 8 months than I ever thought I would. I still don't know very much. We got a couple of beer experts from around town with us, and we've got Brandon from Melvin Brewery in Wyoming. I forget which town, and he's going to talk a little bit about himself and how he got in this beer business, and then we'll move on from there. So if you want to start, Brandon, you're welcome to go off.
Yeah. So yeah, I got in the beer industry about 8 years ago. Started as a merchandiser, actually, with the distributor. Just worked my way up. Did the special events draft for a little bit, and then got my way into sales. And then yeah, once I heard a job with Melvin had opened up, I jumped on board immediately. The brand just attracted me from the start. First time I ever saw him was in 2015 at the North American Brewers Awards in Idaho Falls, and they had drove a big school bus in with Melvin on the side, and there was a DJ, and just, anybody you would ask at the beer fest, like, where should I go? Everybody was like, you got to go over to the Melvin booth. And yeah, I got a chance to get over there. I think by the time I had gotten over there, they only had like one beer left. And then just like, as soon as the beers tapped, just loaded everything up and like drove out in the middle of the festival still going on. And everybody was just like, wow, that was crazy. And so yeah, I got the chance to sell their beer for about a year working for the distributor, and then got the job with them. Been doing that for 4 years now. And yeah, it's been really cool being a part of it. And
Do you live there in Wyoming with the same?
Nope.
No.
No, so I'm a regional guy. I live in Boise, Idaho, and I cover majority of Idaho and now Western Montana.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're actually Eastern Montana, but that's good enough. We don't care.
Oh yeah, I mean it's I got sorry, we'll just call it Montana.
There you go. Go ahead and tell us about kind of the story of the brewery, if you would, to start.
Yeah. So back in 2010. We started brewing beers in the back of the restaurant in Jackson where we started. It's called Tie Me Up, just a small Thai food restaurant. And brewing beers in the back, I mean, you got to think like janitor closet size. Like it's very small. My first time going and seeing it, actually, I was really surprised. I was expecting there to be a lot more room, and it's basically just tanks. Even when people have to move with grain bags through, they're having to lift them over their head just to get through the tanks. And but yeah, very small. And in 2012, we entered our beers into the Great American Beer Festival and took gold with our IPA, Melvin IPA, and 2x4, a double IPA, took a gold also, and really put us on the map. People were just blown away that, a brewery had taken gold in those two very competitive categories. And also, being in the back of a small Thai restaurant in Jackson Hole was also, I think, confusing to a lot of people out there. But yeah, really helped put us on the map, and parlayed that into getting the production facility opened up. That's in Alpine, Wyoming. It's about 35 miles south. Jackson's just very expensive, and yeah, just the idea of building in Jackson just wasn't really a thing for us. So yeah, we looked south, and yeah, Alpine's been great to us. In 2015, we applied for a grant with the state. We got approved for a $3 million grant. That is something that we have to pay back. It's basically like a low interest loan. But yeah, great way to start out as a brewery, really kind of getting to fast forward to some of those issues that startup breweries usually have, when you got that kind of money in the bank. And yeah,
well, tell us about the ownership group or person or whatever, who started it, and are they still involved?
Yeah, so Jeremy Tofty is the founder. He's the one who opened up the restaurant in Jackson, started brewing the beer originally, and yeah, still totally involved with Melvin. He's on our board, and then he also still runs Tie Me Up in Jackson.
Cool.
And owns it also.
Seems a little creative to me with his labels. I mean, his cans and his I don't know, the sides made us laugh, like the, what was it? Something, the surfing in Wyoming or
Yeah,
something?
surfing on the West Coast
Surfing on the West Coast in Wyoming, and what was the other one?
and misunderestimated.
Misunderestimating. We looked that word up. We weren't sure it was a word. I still don't know if it is, but seems like you guys have fun in the brewery, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and I've always loved the marketing, and you know, Jeremy and Travis, Travis Cook is our marketing guy. He lives out in Colorado. Their minds together just come up with these amazing beer names. A lot of the write-ups on the side of the cans are written by Travis and Jeremy, sometimes both of them, but yeah, the creativity is awesome. And I love the way we don't really just stick to like one slogan like you see a lot of breweries do, you know. Jesus breaking down walls, Juice Theorem's lab tested, back into Haze is hop and lock, you know, so like just throwing in those fun little sayings, and yeah, just keeping it light. It's beer, you know, it should be fun. And I love the artwork combination, you know, it's kind of this fusion of art and science with beer, and the artwork behind it, and collaborating with different artists, and yeah, it is. We have a blast with it, and every time we get a new beer name, and you know, it's one of those hits, I'm always surprised just because of how hard it is to get a good beer name registered these days. And Travis, our marketing guy, is amazing at finding those beer names that you're just like, wow, how was that not taken? Or
Yeah, it's fun. We did Zoom calls like these all through the COVID. We did 6 times, so we did 30 of them with 24 winemakers and 6 beer makers or brewery people, and we had a lot more fun with the brewery people. Those wine people are awfully serious, and I'm mostly a wine guy, but it made us laugh. There's one guy, I asked him, how come you use so many hops? I said, why did you choose that hop? He said, because I had a metric shit ton of them, Mark. Like, is that a real measurement? I don't know.
Yes, we actually put a metric shit ton of Melvin or pops into Melvin beer. So yeah.
Funny. Well, anyway, should we get on to the beer? Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the beer? Or you guys have any questions, Jeff or James? No. All right.
Yeah, sorry. As far as like nerding out on the beer stuff, you know, I know some basics about our beer, but you know, I'm a sales guy, and it's yeah, you know, I'm not a brewer or anything, but I do my best.
Well, that's all we're asking you for. Just do your best.
Yeah.
All right. So we're trying this one first. Anybody else got this open besides us? James?
Bees. Oh, whoa.
I don't have any of the beers. Where are you guys at? You guys at Wines by Wednesday
Yeah.
Fifth and Wine.
or Fifth and Wine?
Yeah.
I might have to a little bit. I got one little thing, but I'll just be quiet.
Okay. Sounds good. So tell us about this beer, if you
Killer
would.
Bees. So yeah, one of the first original can artwork for us. Yeah, drawn by Kelly Halpin, our artist out of Jackson Hole. And yeah, it's made with 8 pounds of light clover honey per barrel. Not a whole lot of honey sweetness getting added on there, really giving it a nice dry finish. Yeah, this beer's I think in our number 4 cellar overall, so it's in the top overall in our core. And yeah, great price on the shelf. And yeah, I just heard that the cartons just got packaged up. We're getting away from the pack text and moving over to the cartons. Losing me there. There we go. But yeah, Killer Bees, I heard the cartons just came out, and I hear they look great. I'm excited to check them out, and yeah, see how they came out. But yeah, 5%er, just the perfect like river beer, lawnmower beer, watching someone mow your lawn beer.
Yeah, speaking of that, I have a robot lawnmowers like a Roomba. It's kind of fun to drink beer or wine on the deck and watch your lawn being mowed for you.
That is cool. I didn't even know they made those.
Yeah, I got them a couple of years ago. It's kind of fun. I had a buddy who said
Nice.
he wouldn't come golfing one day because the lawns don't mow themselves, and I sent him a video. I'm like, yes, they do.
Man,
Anyway.
about to put some guys out of business.
Yeah, that's a fun beer. I think that's an easy drinking everyday beer, right? Don't you kind of?
Yeah, it is. It's super approachable. Some people I think can get intimidated by it having the honey in there, but really it's not overly sweet. you do get a nice little subtle hint of it, but yeah, just nice, easy sipper.
Apparently we're getting a phone call. Maybe they want to know about our beer club. I don't know.
Oh, I hope so.
All right, we'll move on to this one, I guess, huh?
Pilsner. Yeah, it's our Pilsner. Here we go. Got one of those guys too. Oh yeah, that one draw. 4.8%. Originally was a winter seasonal for us. It was initially released as TGR Pilsner, which is Teton Gravity Research out of Jackson Hole. But yeah, the beer did so well for us after that collab that winter, and we were getting so many shout outs for it. And I think there was kind of a void in our lighter category of beers. And yeah, the name too was really something that I was surprised wasn't taken already. And but yeah, that one just turned into a year-round beer for us about 2 years ago, and been cranking ever since. The ski hills, it always seems to do really well in the winter time, and then just, you know, as the weather warms up and people start looking towards those lighter beers, just starts, yeah, getting even more popular.
Jeff, you got any questions on any of this stuff?
No.
Okay. I think we've talked about the difference between pilsners and ales and lagers quite a bit with different brewers. I probably don't need to go over all that again. Even I've got it into my head at this point, I think. But right?
Yeah, and you know, I've been asked before, like, would you describe it as like a Czech style, or I don't know. Anytime I ask the brewers those questions, they always just say it's Melvin style. So I don't really have like a specific answer on the style, but it's Melvin style.
Yeah, I think it's easy drinking again. I think that'd be good with a heavy cheese. If you had,
Yeah.
we have one called Taleggio that I love from northern Italy, and it's thick and mouth coating, and I think this would just wipe it off the palate. Sometimes beers are underestimated as food pairings, I think, too.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. How about the next one then? We better pour less if we're going to drink this fast.
Hubert, or Hubert in France. It's you ask most people at the brewery what their favorite beer is, most of them are going to tell you Hubert. Just being that 6% hoppy beer, one of our core originals. Yeah, it's just something I think that's a little bit more approachable. You know, we all love like Melvin IPA, but you know, 7%, you're usually just having a few. Where yeah, with Hubert, you know, it's kind of that beer that could be your all day drinker, or if you're going that route. But yeah, at 6%, super easy drinking. A lot of CTZ hops in that one, aggressively dry hopped. You really get the big grapefruit citrus nose on it. Just a nice clean finish. And yeah, that's my favorite beer. Definitely love all the memories I have attached to that beer too, just drinking it out at the brewery. And yeah, every time I have a Hubert, it's always it's flashbacks to hanging out in the mountains in Alpine. And
Is Wyoming growing any hops, or like is it Eastern Washington or Colorado, or where are you guys getting most of your hops? You know?
a combination of Idaho, a little. I think there's a little bit coming from Wyoming, but Washington being probably the major supplier.
Mhm. Cool. Somebody else ask a damn question here. Pete's sake. James, you're the rep.
I know I don't have any of the samples with me, so it's really tough for me to come up with a good question, you know.
Well, they're good. They're real good. You should be here.
They sound delicious. Yeah, I'll come down in a minute.
How long have you been distributing, Melvin?
2 months.
It's pretty new, huh? A couple months.
Yeah, we just got it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. You haven't been to the market yet, I'm sure, Brandon.
No, and yeah.
Are you guys traveling again at all?
Yeah, starting to get back out there again. Yeah, definitely, you know, took a little bit of a hiatus on the travel, and but yeah, getting back to it. And yeah, most markets we're seeing starting to open up. Oregon's been a little slow, California, but yeah, Idaho.
How many states do you guys distribute in? Do you know?
Believe we're in 13 now. With plans, I think by the end of the year to be within 1 or 2 more. I think Texas is the next move. Getting to Austin.
don't know, Jason talked or somebody talked about this beer because it's, to me, it's not overly hoppy, right?
No, it's a good pale ale. I like it.
Mhm.
It's solid.
Yeah, nice balance to it. Yeah, that's
All right. Well, here we go. Are we doing this one next?
Very, very
You said
refreshing
Hubert. I
pale
thought it
ale.
was reference to that old video game from the '80s, Hubert. Or
Oh,
was
yeah.
it Hubert?
Hubert.
What is this one? The
I
vanilla?
remember Hubert.
Should we do the Star Valley IPA?
yeah, it
and
was
then do
actually
the-
named.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, Hubert was named. Jeremy had a friend that came into the restaurant regularly at Tie Me Up, and yeah, his name was Hub, and called him Hubert, and so yeah, I thought he'd name the beer after him.
All right, so let's move on to this. Should we do Star Valley next, do you think?
Yeah,
Or this double one last then?
yeah, definitely save that.
Okay.
So yeah, Star Valley IPA, launched this one. Initially, it was just going to be Utah, and then we started getting some good reactions for it. Being that's 5%, it was something that we could sell on in draft in Utah. And then, yeah, just trying the beer, getting some of the reactions from some of the other reps out there. We decided to start trying to keep it just closer to home, being that it's called Star Valley. That's where the beer is brewed at, is in the Star Valley. And yeah, got it coming. It's been coming to Idaho, and the sales on it have just been cranking for us. It's number 2 on premise for us right now. And yeah, 5% or 2, like you really think, a lot of people say session. We didn't want to call it a session IPA, just that seems like it's become kind of a bad word in craft beer these days. And so yeah, and I don't really think it comes off like a session. I mean, yes, it's sessionable and it's 5%, but the nose, you definitely get that big hop aroma off of it, and then just that nice clean finish to it at 5% too.
Why is session kind of getting by the wayside, or it's just, why don't you want to use it?
I think just a lot of craft drinkers started to figure out that session just meant lower ABV and a lot of times less flavor. Like, you know, I think it was really like Founders All Day IPA, and then you started to see some other breweries start to follow. But I think a big part of the popularity with Founders All Day was just that it's, you know, very aggressively priced IPA, and you can get 15 packs for $16. But yeah, the session IPA is something, you know, where like Founders has definitely still maintained it, but you don't really see too many breweries out there with like a really popular flagship session outside of states like Utah, just yeah, because Utah having those 5% laws.
What's the best selling beer you guys make?
Melvin IPA.
Do we have
And,
that one? I don't think we
yeah,
do.
kind of rapidly approaching it would be the Back in the Haze, I would say. Number 2 behind that, just in Idaho right now, we have more points of distribution on the Back in the Haze than IPA. Even though IPA is leading in sales right now, I expect by the end of the year in my market for Back in the Haze to pass it up. Just yeah, being a hazy, being new, the haze craze is definitely kicking off, and instead of
Tell us
hearing
about
your
tell us about the Melvin, if you would. That we just put in. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just the haze. You know, going back to what he was saying about the session beers. A lot of the early session beers that the breweries have tried were just super thin. You know, there wasn't much body to them, and people that like IPAs like that kind of thicker body, likes the kind of heavier alcohol. So that's with that. But then, yeah, with the hazy IPAs, I see that 50% of all craft beer sales within the next year. The way things are growing right now with the hazies, so I can't wait to come try it. So.
All right. So what we have in our glass is the Melvin IPA right now.
the green can. Yeah, at the brewery, we just call it a Melvin. So yeah, that is our flagship IPA. Simcoe, Citra, Mosaic hops, dry hopped the same. Yeah, really piney, resinous, dank flavors. That one definitely yeah, more on the piney side versus like the Star Valley that you guys had or the Hubert before it. But yeah, still, you know, we with that nice clean finish. We love putting a lot of hops in the beer, but you got to get that malty backbone to make it finish smooth. And yeah, I love the way our beers really let that hop shine, but also have that nice finish to it.
Yeah. Well, we won't open these next ones because I got to drive for a while this afternoon. So we're just gonna talk maybe quickly about this one.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay.
Back in the haze. So yeah, that one named, yeah, because we should have made one back in the haze. We were a little late to the party. But yeah, was pumped to get this one into our tool belt. We really needed a hazy IPA, and nailing down this recipe, our brewers did a great job. They've had a handful of iterations of it along the way. It was initially just part of our R&D, and yeah, got such great reactions off of it. The R&D version of it ended up getting featured in a magazine, and yeah, from that we took that recipe, scaled it to somewhere we can get it into a price range. We wanted to be competitive in the IPA category. You know, I love all Melvin beers. We just had, you know, some accounts where it was harder, or some stores where it was harder to get on the shelf or on tap due to some of the pricing stuff. Where yeah, back in the haze has kind of been a great answer to that. It's affordable and it's a great taste and hazy, hitting all the benchmarks that the hazy drinkers are looking for: low bitterness, high tropical juicy flavors.
My daughter Whitney said you should get Ice Cube to promote it. I don't know what that means, but
If you got his number, please.
Snoop's
And they-
promoting wine.
and they did make us open that, so I guess we opened it.
Right
What's
on,
this-
juice
what's this
theorem.
Tell us about that.
ET. Yeah, so that one is brand new. Just launched that one this year. The artwork on the can is just a nod to the fact that we've always had a female running our lab. We are on our third lab technician, but yeah, there's always been an awesome chick in there running the lab. Yeah, we're that
they're smarter
one
than us.
is what's that?
It's because they're smarter than us.
Yeah, seriously. I've gone into some of those trainings to listen to them, you know, kind of explain some of their processes. I think all of us just kind of nod our head and pretend like we know what they're talking about, but but yeah, and it's the whole idea with the name to Juice Theorem was that we could make an IPA that was just as juicy as a hazy without all the haze. And yeah, I feel like we nailed it. It has that big juicy aroma and flavor to it. Just yeah, without all the haze, a little higher on the IBUs than your average like hazy, but yeah, I think it balances out really well. I love the color on that beer too. It's got just a really nice shine on it. And with our centrifuges too, we centrifuge the beer on the hot side and the cold side, basically just spinning out all the extra hot particulate. And yeah, that's how we end up with that clarity on those beers. It's no filtration at all in that whole process.
We have a awesome grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup that this would be perfect with, because it's bright and cheery and easy to drink. And I think, you know, that the heavy tomato soup, again, I kind of like the pairings to be different. You know, if you have something heavier and the heavy cheese, we use Gruyere and Fontina and whatever. And I think if you had this beer with that, it seems like a great Friday afternoon.
Yeah, weirdly, IPA too, it pairs really good with carrot cake. You guys carrying a carrot cake.
Nice.
But yeah, been loving going out and selling that beer. Juice Theorem's yeah, nice addition to the lineup, and yeah, it's a fun one to sell.
Here's our final one. I guess we're doing them all. Sorry, Beer Club. 2x4.
Yeah, that is our double IPA. Yeah, yeah, like I was talking about initially back in 2012, whenever we had won gold at Great American Beer Festival, that was the gold medal in the double IPA category. Definitely our highest award-winning beer overall. Just yeah, there's a stack of medals and awards around that one, and yeah, it's a fun beer to celebrate. We do a 2x4 day every year, February 4th. Have a big party where we listen to some old school hip hop and dress up in ninja costumes and yeah, play loud music, have fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So one of our favorite questions at the end of these things is, if you're not drinking Melvin beer or any kind of beer, if you just get tired of beer once in a while, what's your other drink of choice?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm like the true. Yeah, I'm 37, so I guess I am just kind of in the perfect drinker within my age category. I'm kind of all over the place. I drink wine. I have cocktails. I'll have some seltzers every now and again. I was definitely hesitant to drink any seltzers, but you drink enough beer and the gut starts getting bigger, and it's nice having something else to mix in there. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm actually on a 2-week break, just yeah, not drinking.
So you're going to
anything
confess
right
on the same Zoom. You're going to confess on the same Zoom that you drink seltzer and you're not drinking right now. Pete's sake.
Hey, yeah, you do this job for so many years and start thinking about how long it's been since you've gone a week or two, and it's like, hey, I should just take a little break.
All right. Anybody else got any questions for Brandon before we let him go?
I just want to point something out about when we did winery tours one time. Every winery we stopped in, they had kegs beer in the back on tap from local breweries, and every single winemaker said it takes a lot of good beer to make good wine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we go on wine tours all the time, and at the end of it, I'm like, I can't take one more glass of wine. I usually have a cocktail. I'm not much of a beer guy, but no, I just confessed on a beer club that I'm not much of a beer guy. Maybe we should redo this, start over. What do you think?
Just edit that last part where I admitted to drinking seltzer. And
Yeah, exactly.
put it
All right. Well,
in.
thank you very much. We look forward to having everybody try your beers, and we'll keep them in the store, and hopefully you'll make it through Montana. We can do a beer tasting with you in person.
Yeah, definitely.
Be fun. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.